talking of you have a goal of taking your wife to the point of orgasm, she will need at least 20 minutes of foreplay. And when this foreplay is not there, the drive will not be there. She's not going to have a pleasant feeling towards sex, and it becomes something like a boring experience for her. But the moment you take your time to pleasure her, and your goal is not just to orgasm yourself, but to make her enjoy it as well. Because for a woman, sex is like climbing a mountain. It's different from the take her through that process so that she can start enjoying.
Or how he has helped to talk three, and talk three would be entrepreneurship, help our anticipation. Applause, please. A round of applause, please.
Bisi Akode inspire a coach to inspire individuals to be more.
Hello. Hello. Wonderful. Great. Good afternoon. Introduction went well, and I'll just jump into my thing directly. So my name is Shea Abolaji. I will speak a little slower today. I've heard I speak too fast. I graduated from Stanford University. I played professional football for a couple of years, and I relocated to Nigeria as one of my mentors gave me one food for thought before I finished university. And he said, it's important to determine, do I want to live a life of impact or do I want to live a life of comfort? And I chose to live a life of impact. And I felt being two different businesses before starting Wilson's with my business partner. And I have many more ideas of businesses to do, but I can't move on to anything until I built a leadership team that could run and grow Wilson's Juice Company. I'll tell you why that's important later. Wilson's sponsors, we've never had a bank loan to date, but we learned a few things, a few important lessons, and that's what I'd like to share with you today. If you'd like to learn more about the company, definitely feel free to look us up online. That's Wilson's Lemonade, at Wilson's Lemonade on Instagram, wilsonslemonade.com online. I have no formal business training. My business partner doesn't have me 2,000 to several hundreds of millions over the years. I share three of these key principles. Number one is self-awareness and commitment to continuous. Number two are clear, very clear and specific goals and expectations of ourselves and everybody who works with us. Clear goals and expectations. Culture that we won't compromise in. This culture, we have put it together. We just call it SKIT. And if anybody's interested, I could tell you more about that later. Than ourselves. And what's most involved, I jump into entrepreneurship directly. I just want to share some things to prepare our minds. Just some food for thought. And these of yourself must first become one. Number two, don't wish for things to get easier. To become easier, work on yourself so you can overcome whether you're self-employed, you're a career person, you're looking for work. Your position today is a direct reflection of your personal philosophy. Those are four food for thoughts. And that's why most of the times, and begging at Jesus' feet for you. Jesus told somebody, I am not here for you. He said, yes, I am at your table, but even dogs get to eat the scraps that fall off the table. They also deserve something from you, even if it's your scraps. So that one really taught us a big lesson of you can only have access to what you believe is yours. It's not about shakara, it's not about confidence, it's not about building yourself up. So you can only have actually called. Don't wait to be given. He said, even dogs deserve Joshua. And this is about taking personal responsibility. He promised Joshua, you will be great. So God himself made promises to an ordinary man, strong and very courageous. What lesson did this teach? That's the only thing that you're guaranteed on the path to success. But that road will be difficult. We all must be strong and very courageous. So it's not enough to say, I believe in Jesus' name. By faith, all things are possible. You will still be successful if we follow Joshua. God himself said, you will be great, you will receive. And he said we must be strong and very courageous. So we must not forget that. Our road to success must be filled with us taking a personal responsibility to exercise courage and bravery. Then the final lesson is Goshen, the land of Goshen. It said there was famine, there was darkness all around. But the people in Goshen, they were flourishing. This is what gears us up every time Nigeria is going through a situation that's currently going through that right now. We've decided we are operating in Goshen. We are operating like Goshen's laws. We are influenced by our environment. The environment will try to impact us, but we're so confident of our results that we're holding on to that. And that's what gives us the courage to make bold steps as we are already making through periods like this where most people get very scared and cautious and very careful. That gives us the courage, that gives us the faith to do big things. Now, I shared these 3 or 4 lessons or a few points that we just have to think about, and then these biblical stories for one main reason. Understanding that fear and shame cannot exist where faith is. So we need to decide, are we operating independently on our own where fear and shame can control us? Or are we deciding to operate by faith where in spite of any fear or any shame, we still will move forward because he that's in us is greater than he that's in the world. Now, I don't know Bible like many of you probably know, but these few stories are like the foundation of what we do every day at Wilson's and how we've gone from 2,000 to hundreds of millions of naira with all young Nigerians, no formal training. Let me jump down. Entrepreneurship isn't about doing anything big or fancy. It's about being committed to adding value, right? And striving to add more value on a daily basis with anything that we do, with anything that we put our hands to. Adding value. I'm going to share 3 lessons about entrepreneurship. These are difficult lessons, and many people won't like to hear them, but I'm going to share them nonetheless. Entrepreneurship is about deliberate, focused, and continuous action. Many people get distracted by business plans, raising money, great ideas. That's not entrepreneurship. It's deliberate, focused, continuous action with commitment to adding value. So the first thing that we have to do is change our thinking when it comes to money. Anywhere there's a human need, there are fortunes to be made. A great person said that before. Anywhere there's a human need, there are great fortunes to be made. There are many needs in Nigeria, meaning about money when it comes to entrepreneurship. Nobody in this environment, I stood at Stanford. At Stanford, people are getting money off of great ideas. Before people graduate, they're even encouraged to drop out of school to pursue ideas. People give them millions of dollars. I have personal friends and colleagues that are like brothers to me that got $10 million off of an idea. The other one's idea wasn't so good. He got $5 million. We're not operating in that environment. The environment that we're in, nobody's giving you money for your ideas. So what does that mean? Money finds people that are busy making progress. If you find yourself chasing money, if you find yourself having meetings with the sole purpose of, I need money to pursue my idea, you are not an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are busy making progress, no matter how slowly, how unprofessionally, how ugly it may seem. They are busy making progress. Money looks finds out people and supports people that are making progress. Cups in the cafeteria. We had a small little kiosk in the cafeteria. That's how we started. University students would point in my face and they were pointing at the people that were working there and laughing at us. That's how we started. But as we were making progress, we started receiving phone calls from people we never thought we would speak to. We started having meetings, being invited for meetings, not writing business plans, being invited for meetings with people asking, how can more money speed up our success? Capital finds busy people making progress. If you find yourself looking for capital, you are not an entrepreneur. To start out, you need to be making progress. Money will find you. It will be easier to get money after you're making progress on your own. In this environment, capital finds busy people making progress. Not great business plans, not great action. One big mistake, I have the opportunity and the honor, and I am humbled by the people who have asked. They try to pursue two platforms. You hear about Amazon. All these people started with one thing. Successful entrepreneurs make. that make them unsuccessful is they lose focus. So I told you, I feel the two businesses before we start that I am eager to pursue, that I can't touch years now, that has allowed us to go from 2,000 to hundreds of millions of dollars. Focus. There's a power behind focus. Now, many of us have 10 good ideas. The truth is, we're going to fail at many of those ideas, and that's okay. That's part of the entrepreneurial journey. Failure is part of being failing. That's part of the success process. So, having said that, when many of us that have many ideas need to pick one for 6 months or 1 year or 5 years or 10 years, successful, you keep going with activities. We're failing to make progress because many of us started with hundreds of thousands, some of them with millions of dollars, and business failed because they had too many ideas and they were trying to pursue businesses as opposed to focus on building one business at a time. It's a strange power and idea at a time. Aim to do less very well. Do less, but do that less extremely well. Right? Success is less about genius, it's more about action, hard work, and persistence. When thinking about marketing, I'm hearing an echo now. Please, whoever is controlling the audio.
We can continue. We can hear you.
Okay. Marketing. Focus on one type of customer to start. We need to focus on one type of customer. Many of us, when we think about everybody, there are 200 in Nigeria. I want to talk to all 200 million. When you're starting any business, that's actually a big mistake. Rather focus on one. You need to find your first customer. If your first customer loves your product, not they can manage it, okay, but they love what you're doing, they love your product, you will be able to find number two. So when you think about marketing, focus on one type of customer, grow as fast as possible. So it's a service. Even if it is that you must do it for you have money. Focus on making progress. Money will find you. 2, focus, action. When you think about marketing, it's not about letting everybody know what you do. It's not about having everybody love you. Focus on one type of customer to start. Make sure you're doing whatever that one customer needs for them to love you, love your product, love your service. Having said that, there are a few key traits that the most successful entrepreneurs carry, that the most successful entrepreneurs continuously exercise. There are 7 of these. 7 of these. Number 1 is clarity of purpose. They know exactly what they want. Number 2, there are places and there are things that you will do that is only passion, not your intellect, not your reasoning. It won't make sense sometimes. You will need to be passionate about it to carry you through. Number 4 is intelligence. And it's not a lack of intelligence. It's not that I can read well. Think about that. Number 5, resilience. You will get beat up. Number 6, strong will. Entrepreneurs, great entrepreneurs. It's I've had as an entrepreneur now in Nigeria. That's personality assessment. The more value personality assessment as well is knowmyself.com. KNOW is called choose. Second thing of my how to have one thing who will be that helped me. A fantastic resource is a book called Traction. And be somebody who adds more value, whether as an employee or as an entrepreneur. Very simple books to read and very fabulous. Acres of Diamonds, The Richest Man in Babylon, and the final book is The Greatest Salesman in Books that you can read if you're slow, maybe 2 or 3 days. If you're fast, you'll read it in one day. You'll read each of those in one day. Then a more complex book, a little bit more sophisticated book, is a book called Principles by Ray Dalio. Principles by Ray Dalio. So I thank you for your time. I thank you for your attention. I hope some of you found this to be valuable. I am more interested in the questions that you may have. But thank you for this opportunity. I don't take it lightly. I hope this was of some value to entrepreneur. And there's no shame in being an employee. What each of us must be most focused on, or should be most focused on, is where am I going to add the most value? You get paid for adding value. You get paid more for adding unique value. But all of us are earning what we earn today based on the value that the market places on our goods and services. There's no pride in being an entrepreneur. There's no shame in being an employee. Each of us should focus on where and how we can add the most value. Thank you. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sheya Bolaji. Thank you very much. I think it's eventually nice for me to finally see the face behind one of my favorite lemonades. So, yeah, please give me a round of applause. Please give me a round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to make this one a quick fire session. The question and answers for Sheya Bolaji concerning entrepreneurship. Anyone? Real quick, is right here, is live, is on standby. Don't send me any questions. Just rise on your feet right where you are while he's here waiting for you to take. Let's do this. Question and answers. Questions for him. Questions. All right, we have someone at the far end of the hall. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My first question is, you talked about you have many ideas, you focus just on one. You know, as an entrepreneur, you have ideas of probably where you're coming from. You have experience of a lot of businesses and just want to focus on one particular one. But the issue there is you have an idea and you need equipment that are not just... You need a lot of industrial equipment just to progress your business, but they are not forthcoming and it's kind of frustrating your idea. So what kind of advice will you give in such a scenario? And the second one, you talked about target markets. Okay, you're in an environment where you have different targets, but you tend to focus on a particular customers, but you now see that this major customers I'm actually focusing on, it's not the major, you know, because there are other ones you could have also settled for. In the environment where you have other people doing the same kind of jobs you're doing, but not as classy as you're doing it. And you tend to focus on the higher customers, but you're not getting their attention because you are not adding other things they are adding to your business, to their business. So how, because it's kind of disturbing. So do I divert just to attract them, or I should still maintain that business? One day they would see one day they will see the business and they'll actually come more. So I need more advice in that, please.
All right, Mr. Sheyi Abolaji, I believe you got the question. Mr. Sheyi, did you get the question? Can you hear me? Mr. Sheyi, did you get the question?
No, I didn't. I haven't heard anything for since I started speaking.
Okay.
All right.
So
I'll do now.
And I'll try to summarize the next question. So the next question, please. The next question we're now greatly pressed the time. The next question.
Okay, my question is, Mr. Sheyi, does your customer change? I mean, those that were able to afford you when you started with 2,000, are they still able to afford you, or now your customer has completely changed? That's my question.
Okay, so does your customer change with your business growth? Do you have what you would call loyalty to a particular set of customers? Or does your customer focus based on the size of your business? My sister, have I put it right for you? Thank you. So you paid for that. Now, the previous question says, okay, this is going to be a tough one. But Sheyi, can you hear me? Sheyi Abolaji, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you now.
Okay.
You said the first question says what?
Did you hear the first question?
No, the only question I have is, does your customer change as your business grows? That's the only question I've heard.
Okay. So let's take that. That's one of the questions. Does your customer change as your business grows, or do you have customer loyalty no matter being your business? Are you loyal to a particular set of customers? Now, what does that question say? Because it was a lot of right. Okay. The other question. No, not the first one. The question.
I have a business, and I need guidance for it, and there are industrial equipment. So what are the necessary procedures I need to follow? Then the second one is talking about the target market. Do I need to add all the things just to get particular customers? Because I notice where I have different target markets, but I want to maintain this one. Do I need to diversify just to maintain them, or I should keep doing the same thing I know how to do best, and knowing fully well that one day it will come out known?
All right. Sheyi Abolaji, did you get that? Your look says so.
How do I'm not sure. Is it how do I grow my market, or how do I gain more or different markets? I'm not sure what the question is. If you could rephrase that.
Okay, I think what she's saying is she has a business. She needs to scale up. It requires a lot of industrial equipment. So how does she go about getting all of those things? All right. And then what does she have to do? Does she have to maintain what she currently knows how to do best? Or does she have to begin to do new things in order to measure up with the competition in the market? Am I with you? Are we on the same page? You're good? Okay, so that's the question. Yeah, so Sheyi Abolaji, I'm sure you get that right now.
I hope I got it too.
All right, so I believe your answer would suffice. And okay, I'll take one last question because this guy is insistent. How your hand has not been paining you since. You kept it up, so you deserve to be attended to. All right, so your question, sir.
My name is Christopher Agboide. Actually, my question goes like this. As an entrepreneur, it encompasses a lot of things. I want to know how Sheyi was able to get challenge that you have, human being, managing human resource. And how did you deal with the unknown? If I recap again, I mean, how does it deal with planning? How did you deal with planning? Cash flow management. Employee headache.
Employee management.
Headache.
Management.
Yes, management. And how did you deal with the unknown?
And how the fear of the deal with planning? How did you optimize and deal with planning, cash flow, employee headache management, and of course, the unknown elements. Yeah, so now Sheyi Abolaji would have 5 minutes to, help us